Hi guys, my name is Tessa and I'm going to be doing a massage to help with healthy digestion today, and I'm going to hop right in. So with any kind of work that you're doing on the abdominal area, you definitely want to ask your client if they are pregnant, and if so, this is not something that you should be doing. And in general, if your client, you need to check in if they just ate. And I know Melissa ate pretty recently, so I'm going to be going extra light today. In general, you don't want to do, the pressure is always going to be fairly light in this area. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with big circles. And right now I'm really just applying the oil. And I used to have a client who had some severe food allergies, and this type of work really helped her feel a lot better. So just doing nice big circles, and I'm applying, I'm not being tentative in my touch, but I'm being pretty gentle. And it really helps using stacked hands. And what I'm going to do is, from these larger circles, I'm going to start working my way in towards the belly button. And you want to make sure that you're working clockwise always. You don't want to work counterclockwise when you're doing digestion work or work for digestion. So just working my way in towards the belly button and then working my way back out. Kind of like I'm drawing a picture. So I'm just keeping this circular movement and just checking in with my body, making sure that I feel comfortable as I work. Nice large circles, and I'm going to work my way back in again. Just one circle inside of the other until I get to the belly button. This is also good for stimulating fertility if you have a client who is on that path. And I'm going to work my way back out. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start to do just little tiny circles, still in clockwise direction. And I'm just going to start working my way around the belly button in a big circle, using little circles. And if you're starting to feel a little bit fatigued in that bottom hand, you can actually change the position of your hands. And you might find that you feel more confident using one hand underneath. And I'm going to start working my way into a smaller circle. And this is just a really nice place to work nice and slow. And just working my way around the belly button. The belly button itself can be kind of ticklish. So just want to be a little careful of putting too much pressure directly on the belly button. And I'm going to work my way back out. Nice big circles, and I'm just going to take a few minutes, kind of reset, and do that over again. And again, just little circles in a big circle. just being mindful of not moving too quickly or too slowly, just finding a nice pace. I'm going to start working my way out. And I'm going to start doing really light compressions, just holding. And you want to use a nice broad surface area. So you really want to use as much of your hand as possible. And working my way into a smaller circle inside of that circle I just did. And just nice and slow, nice even pressure, applying, not light pressure, but firm but gentle. I'm just working my way in towards the belly button. And the whole time working in a clockwise direction. And I'm going to start doing bigger circles. Do you feel my fingernails at all? And it usually feels really nice if you can move between different techniques. So I'm just gonna start doing big circles, and I'm gonna do maybe 3 or 4 big circles before I start working my way in. And it's time for me to kind of change my hand position. My left hand's getting a little tired. And I'm going to start just slowly working my way in towards the belly button. Staying along that same line, maybe 3 or 4 times. And again, just you don't want to work directly on the belly button. It can be really sensitive. In this type of work, you definitely need to check in with your client beforehand and see if it's something they could really benefit from or are open to, because it's like not really a common practice to do this very much. So you can kind of catch people off guard if you don't check in. And as I work my way out, just staying on that same line a few times before moving out further. And I'm going to start with little circles one more time. And just doing little circles. And working my way in towards the belly button. And just find a pace that feels good for you. And kind of a pace of switching back and forth between different techniques that feels good as well. And I'm going to start working my way back out. And sometimes I like to do just some brief compressions along these front hip flexors that can kind of grip and affect digestion. So I'm not going to work super deep today, but especially if someone is really active or exercises, this area can be in a constant state of gripping. And actually, something that can really affect digestion is if the psoas muscle on the right and left is excessively tight, it can kind of trigger that fight or flight response. So today, I think we'll work a little bit on that psoas muscle, and I'm actually going to do some active release for that muscle. So I'm going to have to bend the knee and stuff. For this active release, any type of psoas work can feel pretty intense. So you definitely want to kind of just talk to your client before. And actually, a little trick for finding the psoas is, Melissa, if you would just bend your knee and straighten it. Go ahead and straighten and bend. Do that maybe 3 times. And just one more time, go and bring your leg back up. Okay. And so what I'll do is I'll leave one hand on that muscle, and I'm gonna just ask her to do the same exact thing. So go ahead and straighten. And this is just a really nice way to encourage your client to be more body aware as well. And maybe 3 more times. Nice, and you can just straighten that leg. And just the same thing on this side. So Melissa, I'm going to go ahead and have you bend and straighten. And a little bit slower. And come back up. And just one more time. And you can just relax that leg for a second. And okay, at your own pace, go ahead and bend and straighten. And maybe maybe 3 more at your own pace. This is great for people that struggle with anxiety as well. It's really good for stress relief. And release. And always after, if the main focus is digestion, I would always need to kind of check in with the abdominal muscles and make sure nothing's like gripping. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this massage how I started, and just with these nice big circles, nice and slow. And you can go maybe a little bit firmer, but always with this type of work, you don't ever want to do excessively deep. The one exception is the psoas muscle. So I'm going to end this massage. I'm going to do maybe 3 circles in each line, kind of working my way in. This is really good for if you have a client that's working on fertility. This is also really good for stimulating everything in a healthy way. And just working my way back out. Always working in a clockwise direction. So to end, I'm going to try and just use as much of my palm as possible and kind of cover that whole area. And it's really good if you can switch between each hand. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon.
If you enjoy these videos, please join us at PsycheTruthPatrons.com for dozens of exclusive videos and premium programs. We have over 1,000 videos you won't find on YouTube, such as modeling and fashion hauls, exclusive massage videos, ASMR, behind the scenes, bloopers, and much more. It's a great way to help us keep the cameras rolling so we can continue making the content you love. Patrons will get 2 to 3 new exclusive videos each week, so I hope you'll consider joining our Patreon family today. Just visit PsycheTruthPatrons.com.